It's now our privilege to pay honor and tribute to the memory of our fellow firefighters who were lost on 9/11 by presenting an award that memorializes the name and legacy of Deputy Chief Ray Downey, one of the greatest fire service leaders of our time. Please join with me now in welcoming the Chief Executive Officer of Penwell Corporation and parent company of Fire Engineering, Mr. Robert F. Biachini.
Good morning. This show is one of the highlights of my year every year. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be able to host it. And the most important part of what we do, I think, is the training that has taken place in the last several days, where 5,000 firemen went through the training process. And probably nothing saves more lives of both firemen and of citizens than that training. So it's an integral part of our operations, and we're pleased that this is the largest number we've ever had go through the training process. But it's a big part of what we do here, and we're very proud of it. I think Ray Downey would be very proud of it if he were here with us today. And I'm sure he sees us and he sees what we're doing. It's a great tradition that we have here, and he's a part of it still today. I am again honored for the 10th year to be here with you this morning, celebrating the life and legacy of Chief Ray Downey by participating in the 84th Annual Fire Department Instruction Conference. 212 marks the 16th anniversary of Fire Engineering's direction of the FDIC conference and the 135th year of Fire Engineering magazine. And it serves, of course, the interest of all fire services and has for well over 100 years. On behalf of all of us at Penwell and Fire Engineering, welcome to FDIC 2000, an event that North America's firefighters have made the single largest and most important firefighting show in the world. Thank you for your continuing support, and thank you for coming to our show. We hope we can live up to your... We hope we can measure up to your expectations, and because we really take it seriously, as you can see from listening to Bobby. He does not lack passion about the fire service, so we're pleased to have him with his delivery. As the CEO of Penwell, I'm very proud to be able to support and help direct the most meaningful fire training and educational event in the entire world. It's a privilege, and we take it seriously. To deliver the world-class program, we have many great partners. We cannot possibly hope to mention all of them, but please accept my deepest appreciation to all whose selfless efforts made this great conference possible. You have made FDIC an event firefighters around the world need and are proud and eager to be a part of. And Penwell thanks you, and so does Fire Engineering thank you for your loyalty on this show. And we think it's a unique show, and we have 60 shows, by the way, at Penwell. But this is our favorite, and it's the most important show that we have because of the role that the fire service plays. So I just want to let you know we really take our role in this seriously. Further, I would like to extend a special thanks to all of you firefighters here today, not only for your participation during the special week, but also for your dedication to your duties throughout the year, ensuring safety at great risk each day for your families, your friends, and your community. You gentlemen and ladies make a great sacrifice to be in your profession. And you never know the day or the hour that you're going to go in and risk your life. It's really a job that is unique in the country, and we're proud to be a part of serving you. This morning, I am once again deeply honored to participate in the presentation of the Ray Downey Courage and Valor Award. Chief Ray Downey was an extraordinary man who I first met 16 years ago here at this show when we took over the show. And he is a personality like Bobby, spirited, direct, great sense of humor, great family man, and a wonderful head of FEMA for a long time. He's missed, but we're happy to be here to honor him and to give out this great award. He was the epitome throughout his life and personified fire service courage and valor to his death on 9/11/2001. A man who cared about his job and sacrificed his life to do it. Chief Downey was famous for his accomplishments in his service to New York City and the nation, and yet he was humble but passionate, a passionate professional to the very end. Like every one of you, he often repeated during his illustrious career that he was, in quotes, just doing his job. And I think that's what makes the firefighters unique, that they make sacrifices, and yet they see it as just doing their job, which is terrific for all Canadians and all Americans that are served by you. So the Courage and Valor Foundation mission is to help honor individual firefighters whose actions reached extraordinary heights. The Courage and Valor Foundation and this perpetual endowment will assist the American Fire Service in continuing to recognize Chief Downey and those firefighters whose bravery and action in the face of certain harm mirrors his. This morning we gather to honor another true American hero, Chicago's firefighter, Larry McCormack, who, by the way, is an instructor. We didn't know this. He's been an instructor for us for a number of years, but when we gave him the award, and there were several really great acts of courage with others in this process that we went through. We did not know that he had been teaching for us, but he's really involved in the fire service as well. His conspicuous act of bravery under life-threatening conditions resulted in saving the life of fellow Chicago firefighter Gerald Carter, who, without his intervention, would have succumbed to a tragic fate. He was, you'll hear the whole story, and he was out and down and would not have lived, in my opinion, if firefighter McCormack had not sacrificed and taken great risks to save him. Firefighter McCormack's action reflect on the fire service true values. So today we recognize him individually, but in a greater sense, his actions are a mirror of the outstanding actions all of you are facing and performing each day when you are called. The Courage and Valor Foundation wishes to extend its appreciation and thanks to the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation represented on stage here today by Director Ray Cernicki, and the National Fire Academy Alumni Association, whose president, Ron Ketterman, is standing here today with us, or will be shortly. These gentlemen play a terrific role of going through hundreds of presentations of men who have risked their lives each year, and they call it down to about 4 or 5 for us on the committee to make a selection. We are grateful to these men and the associations they represent for assisting the Ray Downey Courage and Valor Award selection process. Now please join me in welcoming FDNY Battalion Chiefs Joe Downey and Chuck Downey, Ray's sons, for presentation of the 2012 Ray Downey Courage and Valor Award.
Good morning. Thank you, Bob. On behalf of the entire Downey family, thank you for continuing to memorialize the legacy of our father with this important, tremendously important award.
Thank you also, Bob. This marks the 11th anniversary of that tragic day on 9/11 when we lost our dad with 342 of our brother FDNY firefighters. In their memories this morning, we recognize the actions of firefighter Larry McCormack, actions that prove how our training, dedication can result in the most important outcome, saving lives. And in this particular incident, that life was one of a fellow firefighter. Firefighter McCormack performed his duty gallantly under adverse and dangerous life-threatening conditions, remaining calm and focused, choosing to re-enter a hostile environment from which he had just been driven out without the protection of a hose line and with total disregard for his personal safety. His actions in those early morning hours exemplify the highest traditions of the fire service.
But before we tell firefighter McCormack's story, we want to express our family's gratitude to the Courage and Valor Foundation. We'd also like to thank the fire engineering advisors and staffers who continuously are on the lookout for particularly courageous acts to request nominations. This selection process has several components, each involving firefighters from across the country. We receive reports of unparalleled bravery, and it is always an extremely difficult task to narrow it down to just one firefighter whose actions rose above all others. But in the final analysis, again this year, there was one who stood up above the rest. One candidate that my brother Chuck and I agreed reminded us of, by his actions, of our father, Chief Ray Downey. And now to the 2012 recipient of the Ray Downey and Courage Valor Award.
On August 25, 2011, at 18:45 hours, Chicago Fire Department Squad 5 responded to a still alarm for occupied residents at 7032 South Justine. While the squad was en route to the fire, the alarm escalated to a still-in box because of reports of heavy fire on the second floor. On their arrival, the members of Squad 5 reported to their assigned area to complete their assigned tasks. Firefighter McCormack was assigned to the rear of the fire building. He proceeded to the rear of the structure, where he found the door open and firefighters conducting the primary search of the first floor. Knowing that there were enough personnel on the first floor to complete the primary, firefighter McCormack proceeded to the second floor by way of a 35-foot extension ladder raised by truck 41 to the gable end. Once on the rear porch roof, firefighter McCormack removed the plywood covering the rear window to provide a means of egress for VES of the rear bedroom. When he completed the search, he went through the door and joined with members of Squad 5 and Truck 20 to assist with the primary of the second floor heading towards Sector 1. At about this time, members were ordered to vacate the second floor because of rapidly deteriorating conditions. As members were headed to the stairs to exit, conditions in the attic changed drastically. A rapid rise in heat and a large increase in volume of fire made the area untenable. Members in the attic were forced to make a hasty retreat down the stairs.
During this time, Captain Tom Ruan and firefighter Gerald Carter of Engine Company 54 held their position with the hose line to protect the other members as they quickly exited the second-floor attic. Suddenly, a large volume of fire broke out behind the knee wall. Captain Ruan and firefighter Carter, who were 10 feet away from the stairway. In an effort to get to the stairs, Captain Ruan led firefighter Carter out. Because of the extreme volume of fire and zero visibility, firefighter Carter lost the hand line and became disoriented and lost. Captain Ruan returned to the area and attempted to find firefighter Carter, but was unable to locate him. Exhausted, Captain Ruan fell into the stairs, knowing he could gain assistance from the crew below. Members of Squad 5 and Truck 20 helped Captain Ruan down the stairs. As they were exiting, Captain Ruan was screaming that firefighter Carter was trapped in the fire on the second floor. Firefighter McCormack had just exited the attic area. When he heard firefighter Carter was trapped in the thick, acrid smoke and intense heat, he immediately re-entered the inferno that was now the attic area in an attempt to locate and assist his brother firefighter. He entered into the searing heat and heavy flames without the protection of a hose line. Keeping his composure in the unbearable conditions, firefighter McCormack keyed in on the piercing shriek of firefighter Carter's activated pass alarm. It led him to firefighter Carter, who was unconscious, lying still, and barely breathing. The intense heat had melted the netting in his head, causing his facepiece to become dislodged.
Firefighter McCormack then single-handedly dragged firefighter Carter to the landing onto the stairs, where he was assisted in carrying firefighter Carter down the remaining stairs. Firefighter Carter, who had suffered burns, was revived by paramedics and transported to the hospital. During the entire time firefighter McCormack was rescuing firefighter Carter, the hose line was open and unattended. Scalding water rained down on firefighters McCormack and Carter. He's recovering from his injuries and will be returning to duty shortly. Later that same day, firefighter McCormack responded to an early morning fire in a heavily involved structure. He and another member of Squad Company 5 rescued a handicapped civilian. These rescues are a testament of the duty, pride, tradition, code exemplified by firefighter McCormack. His courage and superhuman efforts were in accord with the highest traditions of the Chicago Fire Department and the fire service.
On August 25th, 2011, firefighter Lawrence McCormack exemplified the highest tradition of the fire service when he employed quick thinking and executed courageous actions to rescue a fellow firefighter. He re-entered a hostile environment from which he had just been driven out without the protection of a hose line and with a totally disregard for his personal safety. Firefighter McCormack displayed great courage and tenacity in the performance of this rescue. If not for the heroic action of firefighter McCormack, firefighter Gerald Carter faced certain death. Firefighter McCormack's dedicated and aggressive action in saving the life of another firefighters are in the highest tradition of the Chicago Fire Department. Firefighter McCormack's presence of mind, selflessness, and ability to maintain his composure under extremely stressful and personally dangerous circumstances made him a hero and our awardee for this year of the Ray Downey Medal and a $35,000 check, I might add. Here's a little of Larry's background. Larry is a 16-year-old veteran of the fire service. He began his career in the fire service as a volunteer with the Worth Fire Department. In 1996, Larry became a full-time paid firefighter with the Oakland Fire Department, where he worked until 2004. In 2004, Larry became a member of the Fire Department of New York and was assigned to Ladder 26 in the Bronx, the FDNY's busiest and most decorated truck company. In 2006, Larry left New York and became a member of the Chicago Fire Department, where he was assigned to Hook and Ladder number 20. In 2007, Larry was assigned to Squad Company 5, the busiest heavy rescue company in the city of Chicago. During Larry's career, he has received several prestigious awards, including 6 Chicago Fire Commissioner unit citations. He was honored twice by the mayor of the city and the city council in the form of resolutions, including the actions he took in the rescue of an unconscious, handicapped civilian from a basement fire the same day as the rescue of firefighter Carter. Larry was also the recipient of the Academic Achievement Award and was valedictorian of his Chicago Fire Department Academy class, and voted by his fellow students for the Eugene Blackman Award for Leadership. Firefighter McCormack has been married to his lovely wife, Jill, for 10 years, has 2 beautiful daughters, Madeline, age 3, and Kristen, age 1. For his extraordinary courage and valor, Penwell and Fire Engineering are honored to present firefighter Larry McCormack with the 2012 Ray Downey Courage and Valor Medal Award, along with a $35,000 check from Fire Engineering Courage and Valor Foundation. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you our awardee for the 2012 Chicago Firefighter, Larry McCormack.
Morning. I'd humbly like to thank Penwell, Fire Engineering Magazine, Chief Bobby Halton, and the Downey family for this honor. It is deeply appreciated, but certainly more than I deserve. I accept this award on behalf of everyone that operated Still in Box 2586, located at 7032 South Justine on Chicago's South Side. Because everyone on the fire ground executed a coordinated fire attack, especially firefighter Jeremy Kame of Engine Company 54 and Lieutenant Corey Hojek of Squad Company 5, we were able to remove the fireman in distress, Fireman Gerald Carter. I would like to acknowledge firefighter paramedic Dan McVicker of Engine Company 116, whose quick thinking and EMS skills without question saved Fireman Carter's life. And with your kind permission, just a couple of special thank yous. To my wife Jill, thanks for your patience, understanding, friendship, loyalty, and love. And thank you for the greatest gifts a guy could ask for. My kids, Madeline, Kirsten, and baby Mac, due next month. I did the hard part. Thanks to my mother and the rest of the McCormack clan for their love and support. And I'd like to dedicate this honor to my father, Lieutenant Robert McCormack, who passed away a year ago this month. Even though he was a second-generation policeman, he enthusiastically steered me towards the fire service. I guess he knew he checked the wrong box, so he did. So thanks to my friend and mentor, Oak Lawn Fire Department Chief Operations Tom Trevino. I'm a better fireman and, more importantly, a better man for knowing you. Thank you to the men who put me in for this honor: Chicago Deputy District Chief Bob McKee, Chicago Fireman Rich Stack, Squad Company 5, and retired Lieutenant Michael Rico of the Oak Lawn Fire Department. And thank you to everyone who came out from Chicago and the suburbs, and everybody else to show your camaraderie, brotherhood, and support. And real quick, a tip of the helmet and congratulations to recently retired Chicago Fire Commissioner Robert Hoff on 36 years of sweat, sacrifice, and service. Outstanding. Not only is Chief Hoff the most decorated member in CFD history, he literally wrote the book on saving our own, entitled Firefighter Rescue and Survival, which is ironically published by Penwell. Just a little something for you. And just to let everyone know, Fireman Gerald Carter is back to full duty at the firehouse, and in his first day back at the firehouse, he asked the captain to be on the pipe. He wanted to be the nozzleman, and that to me is the perfect example of courage and valor. So he's my hero. Thank you all. God bless you and your families, and please keep the members of the Philadelphia Fire Department and FDNY in your thoughts and prayers.